It's like something we found that was interesting. Like she can't just go undercover. She's sort of featured in People magazine at some point. So people kind of know. They don't know she's a super spy, but they know her as this kind of scandalous heiress. So
she's like the new Tomcat in the Nikita world.
It's a little, yeah.
Whoa. No, I'd like to avoid that.
Yeah.
All right. Shane, I think we've talked before about kind of your wish list and what you'd like to see from Michael, but I know that you mentioned wanting to see Roy do to come back, like kind of tie in.
Roy, who was Michael in the first series, who I always liked his work. You bringing that up was a thought of mine. If they ever decided to do someone who possibly trained Michael when he joined Division. I thought that would be kind of a cool concept to have that, be attached as the Michael training Michael, because clearly it wasn't Percy. So that would be kind of something fun. But I think for this year, in season 1 he was a lot darker and he had a lot more reasons to be happy in season 2. And so with this one, I think we're going to see a little bit of both, and you're going to have the light Michael and the dark Michael, and really can't hint at it any more than that. But I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised or maybe shocked by what might happen to Michael this year.
Well, Craig, I know that the Nikita fans were very thrilled to see Albert and Watson last season, utilized wonderfully. Are you kind of actively trying to maintain those links with the old series and films, or do you just kind of want to stand on your own?
Yeah, it's something that we don't look to push for. If an opportunity comes up, then we go after it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nothing that we search for.
Yeah. And I don't know about you guys, but I thought Wrath was one of the best hours of television I've ever seen. Maybe. Yes? So Maggie, can you talk a little bit about playing Nikita's dark side and the challenges that came with that episode?
Well, I got this script, and one of the writer who wrote it, Albert Kim, who's awesome. The thing I love about Albert's writing is that you sort of never have to find the heart of the episode. It's always there. He's a man with a huge heart, and in his writing, I'm never confused about how people are going to be affected emotionally by his episodes, which is great. He said to me when he wrote that script that he went into a weird place. He said to me, he goes, Maggie, I know this sounds a little bit pretentious, but I was like in pain writing this script. And I thought, because you hear actors say that a lot, when they go deep into something, you hear actors say, I kind of lost myself. And Albert said, as a writer, I lost myself in the room. I felt there was this dark sort of thing that kind of just came over me, and it didn't feel good. It felt really crappy. And then I read it, and he was my first call. I read it, and I called Albert, and I said, I really, really need you to be my friend during this episode, because I can't do this without you. Because I don't know that when I go there, it's going to be a safe place for me, and it's just going to feel weird, and I need someone. He was like, I'm there for you 1,000%. And that's the relationship that we have with the writers on this show, which is so beautiful, and you can't create, it's either there or it isn't. So Albert, he really held my hand through that, and it was a really, really, really tough thing to face, but we got through it, and thank you for saying that. That's really generous and kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah. A few of you have kind of mentioned the logistical nightmares of filming the Team Nikita scenes, where there are big groups of you just in terms of coverage and that kind of thing. So is that going to be something that you're actively pulling back on next season, or are you trying to balance just because I feel like the fans like seeing you all together.
I think so, yeah.
The Central Perk scenes?
Yes.
Super friends.
Well, they've redone Division a bit. The set's a little bit different. There's a new briefing room, and we'll see, how that goes. We're going to try to, not have 10 people in the scene. Yeah. Try to avoid it.
Yeah. And we know that the overarching theme of season 2 was supposed to be home. So can you talk a little bit about the theme or the idea behind season 3?
I think the theme would be family, because they've got this home now, a home she didn't expect to find. And she's sort of, Nikita's a lone wolf, and she's built this family up around her that she didn't really intend to. But now here they are, and they're all sort of in this place, and it's sort of watching them come together and then sort of get fractured.
Very nice. And Maggie and Shay, we know that the fans adore Michael and Nikita's relationship. Yes? And it was pretty tough going for a while there in season 2. So where will they be emotionally in season 3? Can you tease anything?
Well, we're going to start off in a good place.
Hot and heavy.
Yeah. Shower scenes, the whole thing. I know, everybody keeps, where did the shower scene thing come from?
The shower scene.
That was a joke, right?
No, it's not a joke. There's a request for a shower scene, and we're going to honor. I want to say, like, we're trying to figure it out. It's really hard to produce a shower. That's sort of the thing. Like, if we build it on set, then
Shut up! No.
I'm serious.
Produce a shower.
We have to like make. You have to flood the set. It's harder to do. I was like, we're going to do a shower scene, right? And then Mark's like, you know. And then to find a shower. Anyway, you're going to have a shower scene at some point.
You really got to get me into yoga now.
Yeah. Now we really understand.
But is it a bridal shower?
There's going to be a shower scene. Me too. I lied to a few journalists today. I said that was a joke. Sorry.
But Craig, aside from the logistical nightmares of producing a shower, are there going to be any obstacles between them, like last season, or is it going to be kind of smooth as sailing?
Not a lot of things between people in the show. Maybe one or two. Yeah. Obviously, you know, something's going to happen, but there'll be happiness for a little while. And then something's going to happen, but it's not going to happen. I don't think anyone's going to see it coming. No, you're going to. Well, you're. It's going to happen.
But something's going to happen in the first episode that nobody sees coming.
Oh, you're going to love that.
All this teasing.
What can I say? It's like,
Sorry, I had a moment.
yeah.
It's an all.
Like, oh.
Well, since we're at Comic-Con, I don't think that a moment of silence is appropriate, but I think that we should have a round of applause for Xander Berkeley.
Or Percy.
Oh, yeah.
Because Percy was such a strong and defining presence in the first 2 seasons, and he'll be sorely missed. So, was there any trepidation you had about killing him? Because he's such a... because he's such a great actor, and he played the part so well, and that's basically factored into the decision, is that we didn't want to ever have diminishing returns. We didn't ever want to have Percy. We wanted to have Percy going on top, and I think he was sort of, you know, Percy to the bitter end. So that was good. That was good. He can still come back in a flashback. Yeah, flashbacks. Because Percy was always kind of 10 steps ahead, but in many ways I felt like Amanda was sometimes the bigger threat, that you didn't ever really know what she was planning, and she has kind of this emotional, visceral connection to both Nikita and Alex now. So can you talk a little bit about your experience playing, especially with Alex and Nikita, those scenes?
Well, I think what's will be interesting in the 3rd season is obviously we saw the last time we saw Amanda, she was going to a darker place in her life, and Nikita was getting to a lighter, much healthier place, obviously. And I think she's going to be operating on just betrayal. Obviously, we saw the relationship between Nikita and Amanda essentially was probably the closest thing that Amanda ever had to a loving mother and daughter relationship, and then ultimately we saw that they felt truly betrayed by each other. And then, of course, Alex was somewhat that substitute for that. And then, of course, Percy betrayed her by not keeping her as that partner. I think she thought they were going to be this power couple, and Percy went off on his own. But then I think she also might be now kind of operating on the idea that Nikita ultimately killed Percy, but he was my man to kill. But so it'll be interesting to see. We peeled away the layers a lot with her last season, and she, we really saw that she had some emotion and she had some humanity, and she was empathetic to Alex and Nikita in so many ways. But this year, I don't think she's going to be able to actually have that much empathy.
Lynsay,
I mean, it's all, well, ultimately, I mean, the first season, Craig always said that Amanda will be very mysterious and enigmatic, and that's exactly the way she was. And then next season, we definitely explored her, but so I don't know what's in store yet.
New hairdo.
What?
New hairdo. There's going to be a new Amanda look.
A new look.
Yeah.
She's underground like Voldemort. I'm gonna be, building my army of sycophants. My flying monkeys.
Lynsay, Maggie, can you talk a little bit about, from a character standpoint, what you think makes Amanda such a powerful adversary for your characters in particular?
Honey, you go first.
I just don't think that anyone gets to Alex more than Amanda, except for the kind of the special bond that Nikita and Alex have as far as love and friendship and that family. But as far as like an enemy is concerned, there's some sort of strange hold that I think she has over Alex, and I don't know if it's like I've toyed with the idea of like a madam from her past, life on the street and that kind of thing, and that she kind of has that essence. And I don't know, I've been trying to kind of figure out why there's that thing with her. But I think that this year, if I'm not mistaken, Craig, that she really starts to get to Alex in a different way, maybe, in a stronger way. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe you can elaborate on that.
Yeah. No, later on, maybe, yeah.
Okay. It's like, don't box. Anyway.
Moving on.
Wait.
What was the question again?
What makes Amanda such a powerful adversary as far as Nikita's concerned?
Besides that bitch crazy.
Apart from that.
I love, personally, the relationship between Nikita and Amanda. And I think what's interesting is I think it's an actual vulnerable relationship for the two of them, which is weird in their world, in this world of sort of control and power. You've got these two people who, essentially obviously are damaged, Amanda and Nikita. When they first met, Amanda was really the first, sort of after everything she'd been through and everything she'd lost, Amanda was the first woman around her, and Nikita, she had one, as we found out in season 2, she had one sort of older woman mentor who was, the epitome of light and kindness and all that. And then, but Amanda is a special kind of woman, and I actually think that Nikita, when she first met her, was in awe of Amanda, and sort of looked up to her as this person who had it all together and sort of manipulated her, really in the worst way, in Nikita's mind, which is why it hurts her so much. And in Amanda's mind, if I'm wrong, tell me, that Nikita hurt her in the worst way by, leaving and sort of destroying what Amanda had built for her. And so we had that great episode that Chris did, what was it, 18, where we actually finally got to see the two women who were really hurt and finally confronted each other, because you wouldn't have that with Percy. You wouldn't, like, a guy's not gonna be like, you hurt me. But like, women were such emotional beings that all of a sudden they're face to face and it's like, you did this to me, and then it's like, no, you did this to me, and it became this very emotionally charged
It's the most
moment.
vulnerable, it's the most real statement Amanda's ever said. You broke my heart.
Yeah.
Most people say, what heart? But, where is it? But it's truly that's the crux of it for Amanda. It's the one who got away. It's the pain that eats at her, and And Nikita is the ultimate. It was just, to me, it was just such a wonderful ending to an episode. That when I say I let her live, it's like you could see the revenge, and she says, "I let her live, Michael."
Yeah.
And that clearly is where it's going.
Well, you see the growth. You see Nikita go to a different place in terms of growth. Like, I don't have to want to hurt her. I don't have to bring her down in that way, which is empowering. And then you see Amanda just slip further down, and the rage just
That she
heightened.
couldn't do it.
And these two, parallel journeys that are just so different. And we're going to explore that a lot in season 3, which is like.